I am standing at the northern terminus of the Vancouver Island Trail, and over the next 4 to 6 weeks or so, my husband Brian and I are going to try to hike from here, Cape Scott, all the way to Victoria along the trail. And the route at the start here goes along the coast. The North Coast Trail we'll do next, and then for a lot of the trail it tries to stick inland through the mountain range. So it'll be a very diverse trail. I am so excited to show you Vancouver Island. This is where I was born and raised. I love this place. It is so beautiful, so I can't wait to share that with you. We didn't actually start here in terms of hiking. So we started hiking yesterday from the trailhead to hike all the way in here to the Cape Scott Lighthouse. And now we're officially starting the Vancouver Island Trail now that we're here. So we have to backtrack a little bit and then we start everything new. I can't wait to share it with you, so follow along for the journey. We are starting off our Vancouver Island Trail hike here, and first we have to start by hiking to the northernmost tip of Vancouver Island, and then we'll officially start our through hike of the entire island. Unsurprisingly, since this forest is considered a rainforest, we started our hike in the rain. We are glad to have our ponchos with us because they cover us and our backpacks. I also figured out how to use them for shelter when having a snack break. The Cape Scott trailhead is very remote and takes a long time to get to from Victoria, and that was starting to catch up with me. While I walked, I felt so tired I thought I could fall asleep while standing. We made it to camp. We ended up hiking about 10 kilometers today. Honestly, I was really tired from all the travel I did to get from Oregon back to Vancouver Island, and then we traveled from Victoria all the way up here to the northern tip of the island. So by the time we were hiking, I was tired, and that's okay. We decided better not to push it and risk hurting ourselves. So that's what we decided to do. So we set up camp around 1 p.m. and it's about 3:30 or 4 p.m. now. We already had dinner and we're gonna go to bed. And then we're gonna hit tomorrow well rested. That's what we're hoping, at least. Good morning. We were up early around 5 a.m. so we're gonna get going hiking now. It's 6:30 a.m. So today is an exciting day because we officially are going to reach the northern terminus of our Vancouver Island Trail through hike. So we're headed there to Cape Scott now, and then once we get there we'll turn around and head back out along our route. So we're gonna finally see the beach today, which is exciting. We're just gonna pack up and then get going. This area we are walking through now is the historic site of the first white settlement attempt in the Cape Scott region. From 1897 to 1907, Danish settlers established a community, and along here you can see old artifacts and building remnants. Here I am walking into the old farming field where they built dikes, which you can still see signs of today. After the access road the government had promised never materialized, among other hardships, the colony failed. A second wave of settlers attempted to establish a community, but by 1917 the area was all but deserted. There were indigenous people who lived on this land long before the white settlers arrived. This region was shared by 3 First Nations, the Tlahtlasequala, Nakumgilisala, and Yutlinuk. Today, the descendants of these people are the Tlahtlasequala First Nation. I visited their website to learn more about them. Their website explains that their territory covers the lands and waters of northern Vancouver Island in British Columbia, Canada. They ask that any visitors respect these lands and waters in the way that they do. Their peoples numbered in thousands until contact with sailing vessels 200 years ago. They had no immunity to the introduced diseases. Today, the survivors number 65, and they are working hard to rebuild their community. Here's one of the signs along the route explaining some of the history. Here, the First Nation peoples are referred to as the Nawiti. I discovered on the BC Assembly for First Nations website that the preferred name for the First Nation is Tlahtlasequala, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, and Nawiti or Nuiti is the former name. We're finally here at the terminus, and it's time to get going on our southbound thru hike of the Vancouver Island Trail. Now that we are officially on our thru hike, it's a good time to tell you more about the Vancouver Island Trail. The Vancouver Island Trail, or VIT for short, is the longest hiking trail on Vancouver Island with a length of 800 kilometers. The trail spans from Cape Scott on the northern tip of Vancouver Island all the way to Victoria in the south. Vancouver Island is on the west coast of Canada. Approximately 864,000 people live on the island, more than half of which live in the greater Victoria area. This means that a large percentage of the island is remote and rugged with very few people. Such an amazing beach! Wow! Vancouver Island is 32,134 kilometers squared, which is roughly the same size as Belgium or Taiwan. What makes Vancouver Island so special is that it has one of the planet's most diverse ecosystems, with old-growth rainforest, snow-capped mountains, and untamed shorelines. It is home to the sea wolf, elk, an abundance of black bears, sea otters, seals, and many more majestic creatures. Time for a lunch break in the shade. We set up just the tarp part of our Durston tent to have some sun protection. The VIT brings you through many different communities on the island, exposes you to wild landscapes, indigenous culture, and extreme solitude at times. It is such a rugged trail that seasoned long-distance hikers have told me it's the hardest thru hike they've ever done. I knew it would be a big challenge, and I finally felt up to trying it this year. Together with my husband Brian, I am setting out on my hardest thru hike yet. 6.4 kilometers until camp now. We're headed to another beach to sleep at. We made it to camp. It's probably about 5:30 p.m. So we just set up the tent. Now we're gonna go get our water, have dinner, and go to sleep right away because we're both tired. I'm cozy in the tent now, finished dinner and all my chores. So all I'm gonna do now is edit my short form video on my phone. It's 7:50, so I want to be in bed really soon because I'm tired. And then tomorrow, well, technically we've already started the North Coast Trail. We did like 2K, but tomorrow we start and we do a full day on the North Coast Trail. So that'll be really cool. Good morning. We just started the North Coast Trail and it feels so good to be here. This is brand new to both of us. We've never done this trail before and it is so far extremely stunning.
Get you down. Gonna make it stay just fine. 이대로 모자라지도
We've made it to our first beach of the day. So beautiful here. And we're feeling pretty good. My body is still working out a few aches and pains at the start of the season, which is very normal for me, so hoping that goes okay. But wow, we are loving being out here. The North Coast Trail is stunning. We're on an inland section of trail now, and we've been on the beach pretty much all midday. Oh!
The mud is real.
The mud is real here. Magical place. While we were having our last snack break, we saw sea otters. I've never seen them, I don't think, in the wild before. It was amazing. Break time. Looking out at sea otters. Oh, I'm so happy.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Look at this beautiful river.
This is stunning. This is so cool. This beach is
Oh my goodness,
so
darling.
nice. We made it to camp. It is this stunning spot here in the forest, right beside that incredible beach we walked last. So good. So we are all done dinner and we're gonna go for a walk on the beach and then head to bed. So we will see you tomorrow. Good morning. It's about 7 a.m. We had an amazing sleep here listening to the waves. And our goal is to do about 20 kilometers today. We'll see if we can do it. We heard this next part of the trail is tough and slow going, so we're mentally prepared for that. We can camp a little bit sooner if we need to, but it's gonna be a stunning blue sky day. Oh, I'm just feeling so happy to be out here. Finally starting to feel like myself on trail. It took me a few days of just sort of easing into it. I was just so tired and my right foot had been a bit sore ever since my hike with my mom on the Pacific Crest Trail. So I've been working all that out, just taking care of myself, and I think I'm starting to feel like myself again. a magical beach. Can you believe this lunch spot? What a beach. And we have the entire beach to ourselves. No one over there, no one over there. It feels incredible. Wow. We just saw a sea lion swim by. Amazing. Oh, I wish you could smell the air here. It smells so good. Ah. The smell of the sea and the rainforest. Oh, so nice. I try to be as honest in my videos as I can. As you can see based on the video I captured, today was incredibly beautiful. We couldn't have been luckier with the trail conditions, the wildlife spotting, and the weather. But we were struggling today. We kept having miscommunications, and these contributed to us having difficulty making adequate hiking decisions. While out on these coastal trails, we need to always consider the tide and which segments of the trail are passable at which tide levels. Here's the tide table that was posted at the trailhead for hikers to reference. We got so caught up in the disagreement we were having that we reached a section of trail that is impassable at high tide, right at high tide. Here I am sitting and waiting for the tide to go down before we could proceed, and allowing myself the time to reflect. I've learned that when out in the backcountry, emotions can often run high because of so many factors, including fatigue, hunger, and fear. Managing my mental health and subsequently the health of the hiking partnership is a key ingredient for me to feel safe out here. Brian and I are grateful that we both value the mental aspect of hiking so much, and we promise to be more on top of this moving forward. We made it to camp. It is such a nice spot. This is not where we planned to get to tonight. We actually thought we would get to the end of the North Coast Trail today, but today was a tough day, mostly mentally. Lots of ups and downs. The trail was amazing, but we just weren't on top of things mentally. So this is the last of our beach walking on the North Coast Trail, at least. Might even be for the whole trail, I'm not so sure. Guess we'll find out together. We've done all of our tasks, so we're just gonna get in bed now, and I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. Our neighbors are sleeping. Good morning. We got going around 6:15 this morning. And we have 8 kilometers of this inland trail to do. And then we leave the North Coast Trail behind and start the segment that connects the North Coast Trail to Port Hardy. It's hard to vlog on this terrain because it's hard to pick your line. Here we go, smoother section. So we have a lot of information about this trail as we go because of course it's a hiking trail that lots of people do. But the next segment we have very, very minimal information about. So I'm both excited and nervous about that because I just don't know what's gonna happen. We suspect there's gonna be some bushwhacking, some bog walking, and some old logging road walking. Woo. So it should be very interesting. And you're coming along for the ride. Wow, we've made the high point now. All we have to do is drop down this steep slope and we'll be done the North Coast Trail part. And then on to the adventure of figuring out the next stretch to Port Hardy. Okay, looking across the bay here, you can see the mud flats we need to cross. And then we have to climb that hill there. Okay, first river ford. Okay, we made it across the river and we knew we needed to hit that before high tide because the tide comes in quite a ways and then the crossing may have been too treacherous. So we got across. That is great. Our shoes are nice and wet now. And we decided now that we're here on this side, we'll take a break. And then the next step is going to be climbing up into this forest up here behind me and trying to pick our way towards an old logging road. And then we'll probably be on old logging road for the rest of this stretch into Port Alberni. But, pardon?
Port Hardy.
Oh yeah, Port Hardy, not Port Alberni. We are going there eventually though. And yeah, we have no idea what to expect. Like there could be lots of blowdowns and lots of bushwhacking. No clue. But so far, this part of the trail right here has been really well marked. So that's great. And hopefully it'll keep going that way. But we'll see. We have no clue what to expect. Neither of us have ever been here before. This is all super exciting and adventurous to us. Okay, we're gonna have lunch now.
Great.
Adventurous. We are on the climb up the hill now, and somebody's been in here maintaining it and flagging it, which is amazing. And we are now on an old logging road, so we're hoping as we go the logging roads will get a little bit smoother, but oh, wow. Okay, that is smooth.
Oh my goodness, no way.
This is nice.
Oh wow.
We have been on the logging road now for, well, all past lunch, all afternoon. We already had dinner. We had to take a few extra breaks when it was hot because there's not much shade on this logging road, so I was not feeling great, and my hiker hunger has already hit, so I was feeling extremely hungry. So yeah, we stopped and had dinner, and now we're trying to do some more kilometers after dinner because there's still daylight and we're feeling pretty good and it's pretty cruisy hiking. So that's our plan. The closer we can get to town today, the less we have to hike tomorrow. So that's what we're trying to do. Quite a nice road here. Okay, so we made it to camp and we set up probably around 8 p.m. Took us a little bit of time to find a good spot, but we did find one eventually. And we're probably about 25 or 30K from Port Hardy. So tomorrow will be our last day of this stretch, hiking into town. My hiker hunger has hit me so quickly. It normally takes longer than this, but I think since hiking the Pacific Crest Trail, it just like kicks in faster for me now or something. That's my theory. But I struggled a few times today when I felt like so shaky and so hungry and we had to stop, and I've eaten more of my food than I was planning on eating, so I don't have much to eat tomorrow. So we have to get into town and get a really good amount of food. So I'm looking forward to that. And tomorrow should probably be all road walking. So it should be quick, but it'll be exposed again. So we want to try to get going early again. So I will see you in the morning. Good night. Good morning. It's 7 a.m. This part of the trail brought with it its own challenges, but it felt really good to do the miles more quickly than any of our previous days. Although I was feeling a little extra emotional now that I was low on food, I'm happy to report that Brian and I were able to communicate well and support each other when either of us were experiencing low points. The day is going well. We have been on logging road all day. We've now just joined in with the second logging road, bigger one, busier one, so it should be a bit tougher, a bit sunnier. We're probably about 10K from Port Hardy now. Entering town now, food time. So we got sushi, we got some gyoza, agadashi tofu, and then we got some rolls, more veggie rolls. Let's start with one of these gyoza. They're like super crispy ones. Okay, I'm gonna try one of these. Oh, that's the sauce for it. You gotta get the right sauce going on. That's nice. Brian's eating with me too. Water for my drink. This is avocado roll. That one's good. Okay, that one was really good. I really like our hiking food, but I crave non-hiking food after a few days out there. It feels so good to eat this. Last piece. Get a bit of soy sauce on there. That was really delicious. It just hits when you've been hiking in the backcountry for 6 days. Okay, I'm done. Brian is just finishing off the last couple crumbs, really. But I'll show you everything that we ate. Show us that container. A great feast, and always the best way to end a section of hiking. We are headed out on our second section of this hike from Port Hardy to Was. We did 2 rest days here in Port Hardy after completing the North Coast Trail in the first segment. Now we're headed out for the next one. So far we have hiked 97 kilometers, 60 miles, and have about 700 kilometers, 435 miles, remaining to hike all the way to the southern terminus in Victoria. This stretch from Port Hardy to Was will eventually turn inland and take us away from the coastline and closer to the mountainous spine of the island. We've probably gone about 10K so far and feeling a little bit tired today, but overall feeling good. The route brought us through Fort Rupert, a Kwakiutl First Nation community, and we admired the art as we walked through. We made it to the beach. We kept hearing whale breaths, but we never saw them. And now we're walking near the airport here for a while. We'll be on the beach for a few kilometers. And we saw a mother bear with 3 cubs. That was a little bit scary, but also very cool. And yeah, we've got about 12K to do today, so we're doing well. The coastline here is abundant with life. I have never seen this many salmon jumping all at once. Look at them all. There were also 8 bears hanging around the mouth of the river here. So we got to the mouth of the river there thinking that we might be able to go up to the bridge from there, but we heard from a couple people there were a bunch of bears there, including cubs, and we saw a couple of the cubs. And so we decided we're gonna backtrack to connect with the road to go over the bridge above the bears. And that's the huge difference in this trail compared to the Pacific Crest Trail last year is the route is much less defined. It's still kind of being workshopped as hikers provide info to the association. So it's a little bit more of a choose your own adventure style where you just go, check things out, see if it's passable, and then sort of rework your route accordingly. But we were chatting and the GPS route actually did pre-warn us about this to hit the road earlier than what we did. So we're backtracking now. I suspect we'll do an extra few K here and there when we need to backtrack. It's also one of the types of routes that you have to check your GPS a lot more often. I barely checked mine on the PCT, like maybe a couple times a day, whereas here you're probably doing it more like a couple times an hour. So you have to factor that into your battery usage as well. We've made it to the perimeter trail around the airport, and we were thinking this was going to be more of a road. But as you can see, it's totally overgrown. So it's kind of tough to push through this. This is the trail that I'm looking at right here. Let me show you. Ouch. The plants are prickly. This reminds me of Croatia. Ouchie. we made the decision to push past all this deadfall to get to the beach so we could hike the next 10-15K on beach. And this like 200-meter stretch has been incredibly challenging, climbing up and over logs, walking along logs, pushing our way through brush. Like, it's just wild how slow a couple hundred meters can be when there's no trail at all and you're just pushing through all this stuff. Whew, I'm sweating. Nice. We made it to the beach. Much smoother walking now. So our goal is to do probably another 10K or so. And we're just gonna try to stick to the beach as much as we can. We heard it's possible, so that's the plan. It has turned into such a beautiful evening. We have now seen 7 bears, which is not an exaggeration. Just today, we saw 6 cubs. Wait, 6, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, we've seen 8 bears. No, yeah, 8. Because we saw 6 cubs and 2 adults, so a lot of bear sightings today. We're just pushing our final kilometer to try to get to a water source tonight and then figure out where we're gonna camp. Good morning. We had a great sleep here, listening to the waves lapping. Today we're gonna be on the beach for 8K or so, and then the rest of the day on roads, highway and logging roads. So it'll be a bit different than yesterday. I wonder if we'll see as many bears. And we're gonna start making our way inland. I wonder, this might even be our last day on the coast of this hike, or maybe not total, but for a while. Start making our way inland towards Was. So should be a good day. I grew up very used to seeing black bears. There are a lot of them on this island, but yesterday and today we have seen such an abundance of bears that even I was surprised. Today we have already seen this mum and cub, and we ended up seeing a few more bears later. It's really incredible to see how rich life is here for the animals. We made it to our inland trail. We're doing this for, I think, 2 or 3K. Super exciting moment. We just spotted our first Vancouver Island Trail emblem. Take a look. Now it feels official, like we're really on the Vancouver Island Trail.
Undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all. Hand in hand, building castles out of sand, reaching for the grand. As willows align, we lose track of time. Head up high, now we climb.
We've hit the road now. We'll be on this for about 10K. We have made it to the world's largest burl. Look at how massive this is. It is humongous. This spruce burl was discovered by Macmillan Bloedel engineers who were surveying future logging roads at the head of the Benson River about 40 kilometers southwest from here. It was moved to its present location in 1976 by employees of this logging division. This burl was growing at the base of a 350-year-old spruce tree. The tree was 79.6 meters, 271 feet in height, and 1.8 meters, 6 feet in diameter at the cut of the burl. The weight of the burl when it was moved was 20,361 kilograms. That's 44,947 pounds, or 22 tons. All wood is attacked by various diseases and pathogens, including fungi and insects. Over the years, areas of decay and rot were developing throughout the burl. To prevent further decay, a layer of fiberglass was molded over the burl in 1997. This will increase the life of the burl to enable it to be enjoyed for years to come. Okay, so it looks this color because this is like dust from the dusty logging road. And then this is the fiberglass to protect the burl. And you can see here where it's been broken. That's the fiberglass. That's the burl inside. Burls are abnormal swellings of the main stem or branches and are among the most conspicuous of stem diseases. They vary considerably in size and in rare cases will reach a meter or more. They do not occur in sufficient abundance to warrant any management concern. Burls result from the following disturbance to the cambial layer. The cause of disturbance in most cases is unknown. So now you know, that's a burl. Okay, so we actually took like an hour break or so here for our rest. Bit more road, and then we are gonna be hitting, I think, some logging road and things like that. So time to get going. My legs are definitely achy. I'm not fully in trail shape yet. It's day 10. Usually after day 10, I start to feel in trail shape. So I'm hoping day 11 tomorrow, everything feels great, but we'll see. Okay, wait, need my poles. All right, see you later, Burl.
Come a little closer. I wanna dance with you. Everything's moving slower. I don't know what it is you do.
We walked for maybe 3K and came to this lake because this is our first water source of the day, so we needed water. But it is so glorious that Brian decided to swim. I'm considering swimming, but we'll see. And then we've got like 8 or 9K to go still today.
And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. There's no one else here that I see but you. It's what you're doing that's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in love. Falling in love.
We have made it to camp and I'm exhausted. My legs are so tired and I was just feeling like sleepy as I was walking, like closing my eyes. I don't know, I'm just so tired. I'm not yet used to being on trail. So I'm so happy we're here. We're on a lake here. What's the lake called again?
Nympkish.
Nympkish Lake. It's beautiful. And you can start to see the mountains now, which is thrilling. I cannot wait to be in the mountains. I love the ocean too, but I love the mountains too. This is a campsite. There's no one else here, which is a bit surprising, but seems like we might have the place to ourselves. We're in the tent now, all set up, ready for bed. So tired. Both of us are so tired from today. And tomorrow is an exciting day. We're going to be walking on a rail grade for the first time. Very excited. I'm hoping there's going to be some cool bridges, things. So I will see you tomorrow. Good morning. We had a great sleep here on the lake and it's probably about 6 a.m. now, so we're gonna get going right away here. Brian's just finishing packing up and I'm filtering a bit more water. Today's gonna be about 25K. I've been feeling pretty good now that I've had a good rest. This has been one of the harder seasons for me to adapt to the trail once I started hiking. I think because the last job I did right before hiking season, I was finding it hard to fit in exercise. Not so much timing wise, but energy. Like I was so exhausted by the end of the day that I didn't feel like I could do something else. So it's been really good though for me to feel how that actually physically feels when I'm out here and realize, okay, I need to, if I'm gonna keep doing these long hikes every year, I need to figure out a way to cross train when in the off season that works for me. And you know, there's certain things that don't work so well for me, so I'm gonna start thinking about some ideas as I go. Some road walking so far, and then this is the old rail grade from what I can tell on the map. High grass. Tickles my legs so much. Here's the trail, or lack thereof. Let's go through. Bushwhack time. There isn't much water along our route today, so when I heard this little trickle of water, I was like, can we grab some water here? Brian was keen because it's a hot, sunny day. So we captured the water running through the moss here, and then now we're just filtering it. So I've got my electrolytes in here. Sometimes you have to be creative with what water you find. It wasn't marked anywhere. I just heard a trickle. And I was like, sounds like water. We've been on the rail grade for a while now. We have a few K left. I've had to take a lot of extra breaks today. Just feeling so tired. I've actually had 2 naps throughout the day today. So I'm still trying to adapt to being on trail. But by the end of today, we will have done like 26K. So still a pretty big day. A couple more to go. We're camping down here, Nimkish Lake, the other end. It's a long lake. As we neared the end of our hiking day, this is the furthest we've hiked in one day yet at 29 kilometers, 18 miles. My legs and feet were so tired, I was really struggling. I kept asking Brian to tell me I could do it because I needed that reassurance to keep myself focused. We were aiming for a campground and we had no idea what to expect when we got there. Sometimes I can find this mentally challenging. We had to do extra hiking down a side trail to get there, and that extra 1.5 kilometers, 1 mile, felt impossibly long, not knowing if we would find a site or not once we got there. My relief was massive when we found a little spot to pitch our tent and settle in for the night. We made it to camp. It is a rec site here, so we set up, had dinner, time to go to sleep. Tomorrow we hike into the town of Was, where we're gonna stay at a motel and get a resupply. See you in the morning. Good morning. We slept in a bit later today. Woke up at 6, got going by 8. We were at a rec campsite, so there were a lot of people camped near us, so we just tried to be quiet and then get going. We're back on the rail grade, so the railway tracks that have been decommissioned now, and it's a beautiful rail grade. Look at all these plants along the side. And we're actually going to be on this all day for about 30 kilometers, taking it all the way into Was. So our goal is probably to get into a good rhythm. My goal is to need less naps and less breaks today, but we'll see how it goes. going across an old railway trestle bridge. And some of these wooden pieces are falling apart, so it feels scary. I'm not normally afraid of heights, but I'm not loving this bridge. Ooh.
How this story ends, kind and brave. I know you'll find a way. Live your truth, and good will come to you. Home, sweet home. Home, sweet home.
This has been a really nice segment of the trail on the rail grade. It's been so cruisy and you can just get into the rhythm and just go. And we've been able to chat, and yeah, it's been a really good day. And I felt way more awake today, have way more energy, so that's great. That's a good feeling. I think I'm starting to finally adapt to being out here. Crossing another trestles bridge. These things are freaky because these side pieces are so low. You do not want to lose your balance. Views from them are stunning, and I keep thinking about if they weren't here, we'd have to go all the way down into the river valley, all the way back up, and it would be exhausting. So I'm very thankful for them. But they're definitely a little scary. Here we go. This has a better side rail here. Today we walked 33 kilometers, 20 miles, along the railway trail all the way into the very small town of Was. This marked the end of our second of 7 sections on the Vancouver Island Trail. We hiked 113 kilometers, 70 miles, over the last 4 days on this section, leaving about 590 kilometers, 367 miles, still ahead of us. We are venturing out on our 3rd section now. When we set off for this 6-day stretch, we didn't know it yet, but this would be the toughest section of our entire hike and a couple of the hardest hiking days I have ever had. From bushwhacking to blowdowns, bear encounters, and wasp stings, this section pushed us to our limits. We're at the end of the old rail line now. As soon as the rail line ended, there was a solid section of difficult bushwhacking before we made it to the smoother trail around the lake. Then we walked past the Mount Cain turnoff. Fun fact, Mount Cain is where Brian and I met back in 2017. Mount Cain! We've made it to a section now that is quite difficult wayfinding. Brian has his GPS open 100% of the time right now, so he's leading and spotting all these little flagging tapes, but they're too spread out to actually spot, you know, 1 to 1 to 1. You have to guess in between or follow the GPS, which isn't always 100%. We made it to the river and just did a dip in the river, so my hair is wet. It's so glorious having this little patch of shade. We've laid out all of our wet stuff and it's all drying in the sun right now. So we'll probably do, like, I'm guessing an hour break here, and we're just over halfway for the day. The last kilometer or so was extremely slow going in comparison. It's just so nice to be here at this river. It just feels so much like summer, because it is, but you know, it's just such a good feeling. The route goes along this river, but there's no trail. So we've decided to just fully commit to wearing our sandals and hiking the river because the water is not very deep or fast moving. And the river bed is all pretty level rock. So it's the perfect conditions to just do a sandal walk. And it's the perfect temperature too. So right now this feels extremely adventurous. Once we finished our river walking, we had to get back into the forest to rejoin the trail. Unfortunately, where we had decided to go, there were tons of logs piled up. We tried to avoid walking on the logs whenever possible, but when we had to, I very cautiously tested each log before stepping on it to ensure it wasn't going to move. This can be very dangerous, so in hindsight, we probably would have stuck to the forest route even though it was very slow going. We're almost at camp now. Probably half a kilometer to go. Feeling sore and tired, but overall feeling good. Dinner time, and it is burrito bowl. That's really good. This one's one of my favorite dehydrated meals. It's just so flavorful and so satiating. I've got my favorite recipes on my website, KrysTheNorwick.com. If you want them. The ones that didn't work out, I didn't put on the website, I promise. It's day 14 here on the Vancouver Island Trail. We just got going, and the first thing we're doing today is route finding through this incredibly beautiful forest.
Nice.
Those are so good.
Yeah. Power move.
You got this. This section is a mix of trail, route, and logging road. It might seem like logging road walking wouldn't be enjoyable, but it was often a very welcome relief from difficult route finding and bushwhacking. We've made it to this nice stream. We decided to stop here even though we hadn't been going for that long because our next water is in 5K and part of that's bushwhacking. It's a hot day, but it's a beautiful day and it feels amazing to be at the mountains now. I love mountains. So we're gonna do a nice break here and then we have like an 800-meter climb up on road and then a bushwhack. So that's gonna be intense, but we can do it. We've made it up to almost 1,000 vertical meters. It's been a long, slow, hot, challenging climb. But the views, the mountain behind me, worth it. We knew there were lots of elk in this region because we heard that, but also we saw like prints and poops.
You gotta show this.
I will. And we just saw a cluster of, I'd say at least 10 going up this hill just across from us. They're so awesome.
That was amazing.
They're amazing creatures, yeah. Good spot, Brian. Here's all through this mud here are signs of elk. All their prints and everything. We made it up and over our saddle, so now we're taking a break. And the rest of the day is dropping down slowly this river valley and then finding somewhere to camp along the way. So tired. We are at an absolutely perfect campsite. So stoked about this. Beautiful river. We set up, we have our clothing drying out, so feels good to be here.
Holy cow, that looks so good.
Yeah, looks really good. We've got a pasta with sun-dried tomatoes, olives, capers, artichoke hearts, carrots, broccoli. It's rehydrated quite nicely. That's good. That's really good. Good morning, it's day 15 here on the Vancouver Island Trail. We had a great sleep and we decided to relax a little bit this morning. So it's about 9:30 a.m. now and we have 15 kilometers to do today, 10 in the trail, 5 on a logging road probably. Right after Brian finished on that, walking along that log, he stepped off of it and started to get stung. He got stung by like 10 wasps or 10 times, and I went around and we were just starting to regroup when we disturbed a second wasp nest and I got stung. It was scary. I definitely cried. It was painful. That was such a good, refreshing swim. We've been trying to swim at least once a day and we both looked down when we walked across this bridge and we thought that was like the perfect swimming hole. It's been really hot and feels so good to get cooled off.
Okay, water's a-going, baby.
We made it to camp and it's stunning. This is a nice site.
Yeah.
Nice picnic table.
Dead things above us. Yeah, this is amazing.
Nope, no dead trees above us. Wow. Oh, so good to be here. That was a tough day. We're sweaty. Okay, dinner's ready. When we eat our homemade rehydrated meals, we put them in the pot with water, bring it to a boil, and then let it sit with the lid on for 10 minutes, and then everything is ready to go. And I'm wearing my full rain gear because the mozzies here are pretty bad. Mozzie equals mosquito. That was one just on my face. This is our red lentil dal. It's kind of like a soup. A lentil stew, lentil soup. That hits the spot, especially on a slightly cooler night after a day of hiking. That's good. Yeah,
It's delicious.
that's really, really good. Good morning. It is day 16 here on the Vancouver Island Trail. I had a bit of a restless sleep last night. I'm not so sure why. It was a nice, amazing camp spot, but anyway, I still feel okay waking up. I feel rested enough. And we are headed out on a difficult day today. So we've got about 20K to do, lots of climbing, apparently lots of bushwhacking and blowdowns. So we will see how it goes. So Brian's just finishing packing up behind me and then we'll head out. Here we go. I've lived on the island basically my whole life, and there's so many spots I've never been to. This is so stunning, this lake. That's the lake we camped at last night, so we've already climbed so much. It's so nice.
Every moment tonight, they led me to you. Every single time you look at me, I lose it too. Why don't you come sit next to me? Let things happen naturally, like it used to be. I don't wanna go and waste another day. Mess it up again, lost in my way. I'll be the one to have the highest price to pay. If I make it home tonight, may I hold you one last time? Let me hold you one last time.
Brian, what just happened?
Well, that's our third round of wasps. Wasp nests that we found. I got both ankles stung.
My goodness.
And then Krista took off like a lightning bolt in a good way, because that was the plan we made.
If you don't move, like if you disturb a nest, if you don't move away from it quickly, you're gonna get so many stings.
Yeah.
You do not want to stop there, even though you want to stop and try to like slap away the wasps. We decided we would run away from the nest, and then as soon as they weren't bugging us anymore, we would take a break, let our adrenaline come down so that we don't do movements when our adrenaline's pumping and we don't notice that we might be tweaking something. So that's what we're trying to do now. Our tent is set up right on the trail. This zone is just like a very, very old road, mostly bush bashing through. So got to a point where I had to just stop and regroup emotionally, physically, all of the things. And Brian decided to set the tent up for us. So we had a nice lie down in the tent away from the mosquitoes. They're not too bad here, but like they're still here, you know? They're still bugging us. You ready to go, love?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be good.
We'll break down the tent and then we'll get going again. Sometimes you just gotta stop and set up the tent partway through the day. Here's the trail. Brian's trying to figure out how to push through. That's where it goes. He's taking a little detour around to see if he can get around these trees. This sort of blowdown is the hardest to get through because of all the branches. Nice work, thru.
Moments pass, make this one count. Undone. You're so good at dragging yourself down. Why?
Just had my scariest moment, maybe on trail ever. I thought I was following a reroute trail around this huge blowdown here, but I guess I was following, I don't know, something else, because we could have just stayed on this side of this and it would have been fine. But as the slope got steeper and steeper into a cliff, I was about to try to climb over the blowdown when I upset another wasp nest and I got stung 3 times, and I did start to panic. The wasps were circling me and I was at the edge of a cliff and I had to get over this huge tree, and I was starting to really freak out. And Brian really helped talk me down, and he told me the more calm you are, the less likely the wasp will keep stinging you, and he was completely right. I just stopped moving and calmed my breathing. And then I was able to climb over the log. But I'm still shaking. That was horrible. This trail right now, this stretch of trail is absolutely horrible. Like, there's no sugarcoating it. It's terrible. So I have 3 new stings, which sucks. Nice movement.
Sketchy. The moves you did are impressive. Oh my goodness. Good job staying alive.
We decided we should set up camp early after I had my second big cry of the day. We ended up having a very scary night. I'll tell you about it in the morning. Last night, there was a bear walking towards us on this log. Like, this is right in front of us. This is 20 meters at most away. And then at another point, there was a single bear coming at us from right here. And the first bears we saw was a mom and cub right over here, walking down this slope towards us. And we had to really yell at them. And then what we did is we crossed the stream last night to hang the food on the other side of the stream as us, because it became very obvious that the bears just kept coming back because of our food. And it smelled so good to them. The food the bears were smelling was the dinner we had rehydrated and heated up. It was a Thai red curry, and I guess it smelled very enticing to them. This was the scariest bear encounter I have ever had because the bears were not scared off easily. We prioritized finishing our dinner quickly, cleaned out our pots, and hung the ursacks far away from us. Thankfully, the bears never visited our camp again, but we were ready to get out of this area. We finished Glenn's trail, and that trail was a roller coaster ride. I'm so glad we're done.
Absolutely stunning.
Nice bench seat. So here's the bridge. It is out, so we are going to have to ford across the river, and it looks pretty deep here. Okay, we just finished going through the old growth grove, and we have hit the logging road, and this was just like, oh, I've been looking forward to this moment all day because it means the really difficult trail is behind us on this section. We have a little bit more trail to do, but mostly we've got logging road to finish up this section before we head into Campbell River for some much needed rest. I feel like we had to lay everything on the line to get those kilometers done. They are tough hiking. Oh, I'm so happy. We did it! We are off on our nightly quest to find a good tree to hang the ursacks in. We do this every single night. All of our food, garbage, and anything scented like sunscreen, toothpaste, dental floss, all in the ursacks. Like to pull it nice and tight so that no critters can get inside. There you go. We also put all of our food inside Ziplocs so that hopefully that blocks some of the scent, so they're less of an attractant for bears. And then this fabric is supposed to be bear resistant, like their claws and their teeth can't cut through it. So far so good for us.
What about the whole, like, rodents?
The hole at the top here, we tie our rope around it really tight so that a rodent wouldn't be able to fit in here. And so far, this technique has always worked. Like, we've never had a rodent get in. Welcome back to camp now. There's our tent. Everything's done, all the outside chores are done, so now we can just get inside. Usually once we're in the tent, I edit my daily video, my daily short video, do my voiceover for that. I journal about the day, and Brian calculates all of our kilometers for the day, and then we fall asleep pretty much right away because we're so tired. That was literally perfect timing. As we were getting in the tent, it started to rain. So lucky. So now we're here. We've already set everything up, so time to go to bed and I guess listen to the rain. Good morning. As you can probably hear, it's raining. So Brian and I are just trying to get everything packed up, and we'll hike with our ponchos on today, and I'll try to film if I can. And we've got 32K to do, so we think we'll just put our heads down, and we have my brother lined up to pick us up where the trail crosses the highway north of Campbell River, or I guess west of Campbell River. So we'll be done this section today, hopefully, if everything goes well. We made it to the Salmon River, so we have 22K left for the day. Stopped raining for now. We've got the tiniest bit of trail left, and then it's all road walking to the end. Day's going well so far. Definitely tired, like my nervous system feels exhausted from the challenges of this section. Really excited to get to the end today. Get picked up by my brother. We're gonna go stay with my parents for a few days. I can't wait. I'm at the point where I'm not even dreaming about food, I'm just dreaming about sleeping and just chilling in a house where bears can't get us. This is a culturally modified tree where you can see the bark has been stripped. Oh, big strip was pulled. The indigenous people who do this practice then make items out of it. Oh, here's a strip here, right here. There are so many of those trees that I'm spotting along the road here today, which is really cool. We made it to the Strathcona Dam, which is a huge milestone. It means we're only 3K from where my brother's picking us up. We hiked a little bit past the Strathcona Dam to an intersection where my brother could pick us up at. spot. The relief we felt when we arrived was indescribable. After such a challenging section, we knew we needed a few rest days. My brother arrived with his 2 dogs and some cold drinks for us. Trail magic. We headed into Campbell River where we would rest for a few days before hitting the trail again. My husband Brian and I just had a good couple rest days and hung out with my family in Campbell River, and now it is time to hit the trail again. My dad dropped us off here, right where my brother picked us up. We have a 6-day section from here all the way to Cumberland through the mountains, which we're so excited for. So far we've hiked from Cape Scott all the way down to Strathcona Dam, and now we're continuing on to Cumberland. Here we go. You ready, Brian?
Let's do it.
Since we're closer to town, we'll probably have a little bit more road walking day 1 of this section, and then it should turn more into a trail and a route at times. Right now, I'm just happy to have a cruisy path. Okay, so we've reached a typical moment on the VIT where the GPS says this is where the trail goes, but there's no discernible trail. Sometimes it's just because there's, not enough maintenance yet, not enough volunteers, so the brush just hasn't been brushed out. Sometimes it's that the GPS is slightly off, but this is what we do. We walk back and forth checking our GPS and looking for any signs of a trail. So like flagging or a fleck on a tree, the orange flecks. I think they're like diamond shape usually. Looking down here. Oh, I see a flagging.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a trail flagging though.
Okay.
You gotta really look.
Well, that's better than no flag.
There's Brian coming back from his search for the trail. So here's what we have to walk through to check out that flagging. Oh boy. We've chosen this spot. Brian is just venturing in. Looks like an easy access point, so. These little things, they really scrape up the legs. Okay, we're in. We know we got the right spot when there is a fleck on the tree. So we're good, we're on the trail now. It usually gets better once you're in the forest because there's less of the brush. So this is decent. The trail paralleled the Gold River Highway for several kilometers before linking us into a logging road network we would take for another several kilometers to reach our river ford of the day. River fording is the act of walking through a river to cross it in the absence of a bridge. Fords are quite common on thru hikes, and they are one reason why I love hiking in trail running shoes. These shoes dry out much quicker than boots and don't retain the water in the same way. On the other side of our river ford today was a truly magical river trail. So we're on this beautiful mossy trail. Wow, it's so stunning. This is not uncommon that the first day back, I'll feel like it's hard and my heart's beating faster on the uphills and I'm breathing heavier like right now. And it just feels tough to get back into it, especially after 3 rest days. It can just feel like a bit of a shock to the system to get back to trail. I love it. I'm so happy to be back and it's where I want to be. And at the same time, it feels really physically hard. This trail connected us into another network of logging roads near some lakes we hope to find a camp spot at for the evening. Okay, we've made it to our first lake, and then it's the next lake we're gonna camp at, so we're not that far from camp now. And yeah, just the first day back on trail. Sorry, horsefly. It's just feeling tough to get back used to being on trail, especially after last section. It was so rough and our nervous systems were just like so active that I think my body's kind of like, whoa, we're doing this again? Okay, I gotta get back to that mode and it's taking a while. Thanks for getting the water, Brian.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we made it to camp and set everything up pretty quickly because it was raining. And now I've got all the sleep stuff in here. Brian's getting water, and then we will cook dinner together outside of the tent. Basically, try to do our chores as quickly as we can so we can just stay in the tent away from the rain, hopefully. Welcome to day 23 here on the Vancouver Island Trail. It is a rainy day. We knew this was coming, so we have been hiking for a few kilometers, about an hour and a half, in the rain, and it's starting to get worse. And I was a little bit worried about my camera, so we decided to stop when we saw these tubes. Because we thought, oh look, shelter. So we're hanging out here. Don't worry, we checked. They're not moving. So we're hiking in our ponchos, and now I'm gonna put everything in Ziplocs underneath the ponchos because it's really starting to rain. And we've got 1,300 meters to climb and get up onto a ridge to camp tonight. So it should be a difficult day with all this rain, but hopefully not too technical. So we're just making the most of this shelter we found right now. Was that thunder?
Sounds like it.
Oh no.
Yeah. And midday is going to be the most rain, like over an inch of rain in a few hours.
Just cinch this even more. The storm that we were expecting is definitely here. We ended up going 7K today, and then the rain was just not letting up, and we were getting so wet. Our ponchos were doing good still, but I think eventually anything can get saturated through. So we just decided better to pitch our tent here. We were going to be climbing up even higher, so we thought the higher we go, probably the windier, the more hectic it would be. So we decided to set up and try to stay as dry as possible while this storm is going on. And then hopefully by tomorrow morning it subsides and we'll have better weather and we'll be able to do a bit more distance. But we planned to do this stretch in 6 days with a lot of days that aren't too long. So hopefully we can make up for this shorter day later on in the stretch. So yeah, we're just trying to stay hunkered down here. I'm just gonna see if I can wait for a break in the rain to go pee, and then we'll probably just go to sleep. Good morning. It ended up getting quite stormy last night. Windy, the tent was shaking. Yeah, it was a little bit scary, but we made it through. Everything is good. The tent's still upright and we're dry inside, so that's perfect. Woke up this morning and it's foggy out, so hopefully the fog clears at some point today, but it's not raining right now, thankfully. We're just trying to get going now. We've got a lot of climbing to do today, probably like definitely over 1,000 vertical meters. So that's 3,000 vertical feet, something like that. So it's going to be a big day. The sun is out and we've made it up onto an alpine ridge. It's amazing. We just needed a break though to just reset because the morning was so difficult. Straight up climbing, all the bushes were like soaking wet from the rain.
And
it was tough.
I needed a meditation.
And Brian needed a meditation, so I did it with him and it was really good. We're now grounded and we're ready to tackle the ridge walking, which usually is a little bit slower, a little bit more challenging than you expect. So we're ready for that. We're just gonna pack up now. So we're gonna do that.
Nice and dry.
Great. First glimpses of the tall peaks. They are stunning.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Wow, we've reached a high point here. We can see Buttle Lake behind me here and the ocean in front of me. We are on the ridge now and I'm having to basically have my phone open to the GPS route at all times in order to follow the route. So it's a little bit slower going, having to do all the navigating, but so far it's been good, just a little bit slower. Okay, so it's telling me I need to go this way. So I'm not always trying to be perfectly on it, but I try to stick to it as best I can because it usually helps me navigate things like this. We're still climbing. We have to gain another saddle. And then our plan is to drop down the other side and hopefully camp at a lake. The route has gotten way easier to find now. I've got my head net on my head because the mozzies have been on and off flying at my face. And I'll just like pop it off when they're okay and then pull it back over when they're not. And yeah, it's just been a lot of route finding today, which I find really takes a lot of brain power. So I was doing the route finding for the first half of the day. Now Brian's leading, so we're switching off. I can't get over how stunning it is here. Wow. So beautiful.
I can't help but dream away, standing on a field with you and flowers everywhere. Maybe there is a star with your name. One thing I know is that there should be. There is no one who has a heart as pure, no, not like yours.
We've decided we're gonna see if we can pitch our tent down here near this lake because it's just such a stunning spot.
Dreaming of you. 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 What had
Mozzies are bad. Okay, it's dinner time. Once we bring it to a boil, our homemade dehydrated meals, we put the lid on, let it sit for 10 minutes, and then usually it's rehydrated enough and still hot. So It's looking good. This is dal, red lentil dal.
I like that technique because we used to burn our food a lot.
Trying to cook in with outdoor stoves. Yeah.
Or even trying to bring this to temperature. It's really nice.
I learned that technique from thru hikers. They do a lot of hiking food content. Oh yeah. Dal hits every time. It's just packed with lentils and just so delicious.
That was unreal.
Such a nice view. Spectacular.
Yeah.
This is the view we have tonight. It is so amazing here. Like, look at that. I'm wearing my poncho because the mosquitoes are decently bad here, so that's protecting me. Well, some parts of me. It's also kind of cozy, actually. Pretty big fan of this. I did get a hole in it today, though. On a stick. Branch. Tree branch. And it just feels really amazing to be out here. There have been a lot of ups and downs on this hike, like any hike. But this hike is pretty remote and pretty rugged. So there were some moments that we were like, oh, this is so tough. But then you get to places like this and you realize just how worth it is. Makes everything worth it. And tomorrow, we're climbing up that mountain, hopefully on a more chill route than what we see here. I just feel so at home here in the Alpine. Whenever I'm up here, I just feel like I belong and I'm me. It's such a good feeling. Okay, we are cozy in bed. It's time to go to sleep. Another big day tomorrow. See you then. Good morning. We had a great sleep. We got up at 6. It's about 8 now, so it's time to get going. We've got a more technical part of the trail at the start of the day, and then it should start to get more and more smooth by the end. So we're both just uncertain about what the first part of the day will bring, but otherwise we're feeling good. We're on a super steep descent now before we make our big climb of the day.
Okay. Double thumbs up.
Nicely done. That was technical, but
That
good.
was technical, but really doable. Yeah, really doable.
Yeah.
Look at the views.
Beautiful views.
This is amazing. And really appreciate all the work they did to clear it out and flag it.
Absolutely. Thanks, trail maintenance peeps.
Yeah, thank you, volunteers. Appreciated.
It is spectacular. That's Buttle Lake. It is so stunning here. We're doing well climbing up this ridge. It's hard work. My legs are burning, but it's fun. I enjoy scrambling. Okay, so we've been having to navigate a lot today and check our GPS, and based on what I just checked, it looks like we drop down through that notch and then turn right. But of course I can't see what happens over there. It just looks like a straight drop off. So we usually walk ahead, check things out, and then make our next play. This whole ridge section, there's been no trail markers, and it's pick your own route following the GPS roughly. So here I am standing at that notch, and it looks like we drop right here and then it just skirts us right under this cliff right here, but we don't go all the way down there. So it was just a way for us to get around this rock feature. We made it to camp. It was a really difficult day going up and over the mountain ridge. We ended up dropping down into the valley, hiking on logging roads for the last 5K or so of the day. And we're camped here where the trail starts at the end of an old decommissioned logging road. So we're in a good spot. And tomorrow we're going to be climbing up towards Mount Jutland and entering Strathcona Park for the first time. So that's really exciting. My legs are achy now. It's time for bed. See you tomorrow. Good morning. Welcome to day 26 here on the Vancouver Island Trail. We got up at 6. It's probably about 8 now, so it's time to get going. We have a big mountain to climb today, so we will have to stay focused. So it's going to be a glorious day. Sun's out, skies are blue. I think it's going to be amazing, and I'm really excited to show you.
All I want is all of you, baby, baby. Nothing less than that will do, baby.
The day has started off so tough. We're basically just going straight up. My calves are in so much pain right now. They worked so hard yesterday and now they're screaming at me like, what are we doing again? Like straight up we're going. Where's Brian? I can't even see you.
Straight up behind you.
There you are.
Did you show the slope?
I'll show the slope as well. It's a tough way to start the day. We expected this first couple K to be really hard. Then we have road for a bit. We can just like crush that out, hopefully. But then we have to climb a whole mountain later. And it's hard for me when I'm going up here struggling to not think about how am I going to get up that mountain later. But that's not worth thinking about. I just have to think about what I'm doing now and just get through it and keep myself safe. Here's where I just came up. It's honestly hard to capture how steep it is, but it is, like, there's the lake. There's the trail. In order to be standing straight right now, my ankles are so plantar flexed. Like, we're literally climbing up beside this cliff.
Take me higher, higher, higher. Let's set my soul.
As soon as we got to this bench, we knew we needed to take a break here. We sat down on the bench, looked out at the view, and started one of the many meditations we've been doing on this hike to support our mental health. Take a deep breath. Feel how your body is resting on the surface you're sitting on. Bring to mind something that you're grateful for. It can be anything. We just got down here to the lake and had an amazing swim out to this little island here. So now we're going to filter some water, have a snack, and then hopefully regain our strength. We're on our big climb up the mountain now. We've been climbing through this beautiful forest for a while and it's really nice. The trail is like straight up. It's really kicking my butt. But doing good, doing good. Brian and I are aiming to get up to a tarn here and then we'll do a water break and evaluate how far we've gotten. We made it to the tarn we were aiming for. I'm tired. We are gaining up towards the summit of Jutland Mountain. We're at 1380 meters. We have to get to 1820. So it's close, like it's only 500 meters of climbing. Hopefully we can make that in a good amount of time.
Summit before 6, and then we can be at camp around 8.
We're doing great, gaining. The summit's just up here, not that much further. And it's raining a little bit on and off, but it's good. We're making good time, lots of daylight still, and it's absolutely stunning, spectacular.
Deeper than knowing just what is essential for life that is thriving. Go deep, shoot out the chatter, feel it, burn off the fire, let go until there's peace to your home. Live a life you adore.
Woo! We made the summit! Now we have to drop down this ridge, drop off the ridge.
Silence the noise, away from the program, removing performance, true self, all that's standing.
We made it to camp and it's busy here. So we ate dinner like an hour before we got here. Set up. Now we're going to bed. See you tomorrow. Hopefully we finished this section tomorrow. Good morning. We got going around 5:45. Didn't do any of our regular morning chores. Like we haven't done our coffee yet. Or food. But we're trying to do 40 kilometers today. It's gonna be cruisier trail than what we've had, but it's no PCT, so it's still difficult. But if we do it, we make it to my friend's house and we get to do a shower and a reset. So we're motivated. We're just trying to see how many kilometers we can get done before noon and see if it's going to be doable for us to make it.
Wasn't I meant to lie in your arms here for a while? I'm alive and I take.
We've done probably at least 15K, getting close to the 20 point, so almost halfway for the day. Going great, we're having a great time. Packs are light because we have like no food left. We've made it down to Puntledge River, so we're done the vast majority of our descent today. We've been walking for 11 hours now, And we've gone 35K. I was feeling real good, honestly. I was just in like focus mode. But just now, it all hit me at once. And I am, as I say, coming unglued. That's what my ski coach used to say. When like all of a sudden, you just don't know how you're gonna get there. And your body coordination gets worse. I'm gonna make it though. Brian just gave me a pep talk. But it's these moments when like, you just have to dig deep. And just like, one foot in front of the other. Keep going. We pushed the final few kilometers to our friend's house in Cumberland where they had pizza waiting for us.
Hold on. Was it a rainbow falling? Was it a rainbow falling?
We are headed out on day 29, leaving Cumberland today. We had a glorious rest day yesterday at our friend's house in Cumberland, and we're ready to hit the trail. We're heading into the Beaufort mountain range, and we're thinking this section will take us 5 days. We've done 10K so far today. Had a nice break here at this stream, got some water. Time to do another 5K sesh or so. Our goal is 20 to 30 kilometers today. So far the trail's been pretty cruisy, so I'm sure we'll make at least 20. We're still climbing up the river valley. It's a big day of climbing today because we're gaining the mountain range, and then we'll be hiking through the mountain range for 5 days, including today. So this is what often happens after a resupply rest day. You drop down out of the mountains into town, and then you climb back up into them out of town. I've noticed this pattern on all of my thru hikes so far. So day one, heaviest pack, and you're climbing. So you just gotta get used to it, listening to podcasts today. We got a lentil dish for this evening. It's pretty decent. We decided to camp around 6 p.m. We were both feeling pretty tired. We think we made it about 20K today, so we decided let's just set up here where there's a little pond and try to get to bed early so we could have a good sleep tonight. It should be a cooler night, so we're a little bit worried we're not going to be warm enough. Okay, all cozied up. I even added my poncho on top of my quilt for added wind layer. That was Brian's idea. Smart. So hopefully we stay warm. Good night. Good morning. We were okay temperature-wise last night. We weren't cozy, but we weren't shivering. So we were in that in-between. So it was okay. I definitely had decent sleep. Not an amazing sleep, but decent. So we're ready to go now. It's just after 7 a.m. So I've got my pack on. Brian's just finishing packing up a few items. And today we're aiming to do about 15 or 18 kilometers or so. But it's gonna be like 2,000 vertical meters of climbing. So a big day. But we'll be up in the Alpine probably. So it should be a good day. We've almost done our first 5K of the day. Gonna stop at a lake. Get some water. We're at a break here, doing a snack break. Maybe it's our lunch break. I'm not even keeping track of the time today. It's 11 a.m., so early lunch break. Brian is trying to dry out our tent right now, and he's just, it looks hilarious. Why are you drying it like that?
Because I want to be warm. And it needs the verticalness.
You're warm holding it up like that. Are you?
Yeah.
The trail is quite difficult. There's not a lot of switchbacks. It's straight up or straight down. And it's not super established yet through these mountains. Like, there definitely is some trail markings. There's flagging and some of the orange flecks. But it's still hard to follow. And it's slow going. And honestly, I'm having a hard time with my attitude towards it right now. Like, it's beautiful. I love being out here. All of those things are true. But I'm finding the trail itself right now really tough. And yeah, I'm not in the best mood about it. But I'm trying my best. But, you know, some days out here are just harder than others. And today's one of those days. I love my little Zero Pump by Flextail. Love that it blows up my mat. We've got a couple meals we bought at the store at Robinson's Outdoors, and Brian just told me they are made here on Vancouver Island by a mother-son duo. So we're excited to try them because normally we eat all of our own homemade dinners. But sometimes we don't have time to make those, or we do more of a spontaneous trip or something. So we're excited to see what these are like. First up is the veg pie, very veggie shepherd's pie. Okay, here we go. Can you see that?
Yeah, you can bring it even closer.
It's like mashed potatoes with veggies in it. Has a good flavor. Has some really nice seasonings. Next up is the peanut rice with tofu Thai. Okay, so here it is. This one has a nice flavor. The consistency is really nice with the rice. And it feels like I'm not gonna get a tummy ache, you know? Like, it feels, even though there's lots of calories in it, it feels light. So, seems pretty good to me. All right, I'm in bed at 7. I'm so tired, so I'm gonna go to bed now. Another big day tomorrow of hiking on the ridge. So see you then. Good morning. We had a great sleep last night. I slept from 7 till 6, so 11 hours, and it was a lot warmer. well, maybe not a lot, but warm enough that I didn't wake up cold. So I'm feeling good for today. We've got a big day out on the ridge here. We don't know exactly how long we're gonna go, but we're gonna try to get some distance done, but it's gonna be a lot of up and down. And if yesterday is any indication, it'll be straight up, straight down. So should be an interesting day, but also an absolutely beautiful day. We're on our big climb now up Sable Mountain. So it's straight up. We're gonna be going about 250 vertical meters over the next half kilometer to get to the summit. So we've already done quite a bit of climbing. And Brian and I usually take a break about an hour into the day because we always feel hungry, but we've decided we're gonna push another like 45 minutes to an hour to get to the summit and do a really nice break there. And I feel so much better today compared to yesterday with that really good sleep. I feel like I have more energy, like my legs aren't burning and getting as tired as quickly. So that's a really good feeling too. And it's a stunning day out here.
This is great. We did it.
We're on the ridgeline now, so it's just like undulating and it's stunning. Amazing views. Couldn't be a better day to see all these incredible views. Today is champagne hiking, in my opinion. Perfect weather, epic views. And in terms of Vancouver Island hiking, pretty nice hiking too. Pretty easy to route find today. Champagne hiking.
I'm an expert at overthinking things that I shouldn't. You come across as a cool guy, someone is the opposite. And all my friends are leaving, but I want to stay here.
It's just the perfect day to be up here on this ridge. And I think because we can see Mount Baker, we can probably basically see the end of the island. You just can't really tell, but we can basically see the end of our hike. It's just still a few hundred kilometers away.
Where have you been? All my life, all lonely nights. You were always there at the same damn bar. I just never lose your way. And I've seen.
We are cooking dinner before camp tonight because we're here at this big lake, lots of water, and we're gonna camp at a dry camp tonight, probably, unless there's a tarn. How you doing?
I'm doing really well.
When I'm nervous, I talk too much.
We've made it to our camp spot. Check out this view. Incredible. So we just pitched our tent and we had dinner already. So we can just go straight to bed, but I'll give you a little tour of our site here to show you what our setup is usually like on this hike. Okay, so here is our Durston X Mid 2 tent set up. We usually guy line it out always, And then we'll add extra ones if we couldn't get the perfect symmetrical pitch. We also add rocks on every corner. Backpack leaning up against here, my shoes, my water bottles, my fuel, and I'll always hang my little face cloth up there. And then inside the tent, it looks a little disorganized right now, but we've both got our air mats and we attach them together with these straps called the coupler from Thermarest. And then we've got all of our sleeping quilts, our pillows, our sleeping clothes, electronics, anything like that in there. For our food, we hang our earth sacks in a tree. We tie them up into a tree away from the tent. Not every campsite is this beautiful, but when they are, it's incredible. We're lucky tonight. So peaceful and quiet too. It is a beautiful morning here in the mountains. So we are packing up now. We want to get going by 7 and try to do the rest of the ridge today, which is 20 kilometers. We only managed to do 11 yesterday, so we'll see how it goes. It's going to be tough, but tomorrow we need to get into Port Alberni. So the more we get done on the ridge today, the more likely we get to Port Alberni and get to stay in our hotel tonight. So we're going to try to stay focused all day. Morning is going super well so far. We are spotting the flagging pretty good and just trying to keep moving. Epic day up here. Epic. Okay, we've got 5 mountains or peaks on the ridge to summit today. 1's done, 4 to go.
No telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights. Won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs.
Absolutely gorgeous tarn here. Okay, we're basically at our 2nd summit now. So we've done 2, 3 to go, and we're feeling great. Oh, Brian was just looking for the trail and he found flagging, so that's awesome.
This is unbelievable here. It's so beautiful.
Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know if I...
On our 3rd climb, in the heat of the day, it's like 1 p.m. So our pace is a little slower, but that's okay. 3rd of 5. So we're getting there.
You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down.
We did it. Wow, baby. This is awesome.
Yeah.
What a view.
Yeah. Feels good. 3 of 5 done. Amazing feeling. Our next summit is actually quite close, and then the summit after is more of a distance. There's our next summit. This part of this trail reminds me so much of the Croatian long distance trail, because for section C on that trail, you're up on the ridgeline but close to the ocean. So you're looking down, or the sea, the Adriatic Sea, you're looking down on the sea the whole time. And that's what this ridge has been like. We've been looking down at the ocean the whole time. Mountains. Epic. Okay, right behind me, there's a weather station on the summit. We just got super close there, so we're done our 4th summit. 1 to go. And we've actually, I haven't seen them, Brian's seen them. He's seen 4 bears today, and each one was on a different summit. So 4 summits, 4 bears. Not right on the summit, I mean like on the approach of the summit. There's the town we're headed to, Port Alberni. We have a hotel there tomorrow night. Hopefully we can make it. That must be the summit we have to do. We're gonna camp up there tonight. Okay, we've made it partway up our last climb, and Brian's hamstring's getting pretty tired. So we took a break and got some water in case he was needing more. Dehydrated, that's the word. So we're both tired at this point, but we usually switch off who's struggling more at any given time, thankfully. So I was able to do all the water filtering for us. So here we go, 200 vertical meters. It should take us probably just under an hour. Brian, you're going really slow. Okay, you okay? How's the hamstring?
Almost lost.
Okay, it'll take a little bit to warm up. We made it to camp. The sun is just setting over there. So we're filtering water, cooking up dinner. There's ravens flying above us, and we pitched our tent here. So we did it. We made it to the 5th summit of the day. And we only saw 4 bears overall. But we're so happy we did it. It was about 20K. A lot of vertical change. But that means from this mountain, we literally just have to drop down into town tomorrow. 25K tomorrow, but mostly on road, dropping down, so it should be pretty cruisy. That was our goal. We want to get into town by like 4 or 5 p.m. before the post office closes. So we're really happy about that. And it was just an absolutely epic day. Couldn't have been better conditions up here. Oh, so stunning. So good. So yeah, we're gonna have dinner now and then probably go to bed right away because we are exhausted. Looks like we have a pad thai tonight. Looks so tasty. Okay, I've propped you on my fanny packs, so I'm too tired to go get my tripod. So this is happening. Okay, mung bean noodles. Oh, they're so good. And rehydrated meals. It's good. I love noodles. Good morning. It is a stunning morning here. And it's about 6:45, so we're gonna get going at 7 here. And we've got 25 kilometers to hike today, 200 meters vertical up and about 1,000 or so down. So let's get going. Okay, we've made the summit. Took us like a couple minutes. We camped just before it. So this is our last mountain summit on this ridge. And now it's time to drop down to Port Alberni. Another glorious day. We've made it down to the flats now. Beautiful forest. It is so nice down here in the Alberni Valley and so hot. It's really, really beautiful. At the road. So we will be back here tomorrow morning. We're not doing a 0 day here. Okay, here we go. We're leaving trail. See you tomorrow, trail.
See ya.
Heading into town, Brian and I are both really hungry. We're daydreaming about food. We can't even talk to each other. We've been listening to podcasts all day because we're tired. Okay, we got our 2 resupply boxes at Canada Post. Made it in time. It's like 5 p.m. They close at 6, so now it's time to go to our hotel. We are cozy in our hotel now, showered. We had a delicious meal at Twin City Brewing, and we're just relaxing as much as we can. We're not doing a 0 day here, so we are starting our next section first thing tomorrow morning. Here we go. Headed back to the trail now through Port Alberni. This is our second to last section, so we're hiking from Port Alberni to Lake Cowichan. We've made it back to the trail. Here we are. Nice cruisy trail to start the day. We just saw a bear. We're like a kilometer from town, not even really from town, in the trails. We just saw a bear, and when we yelled at it, it sort of jaunted away, but it didn't sprint away. It didn't bother us either though. So we yelled, I banged my poles together. Brian tried to capture it on his camera, and we've now moved through where it was hanging out. Yeah, we've seen a lot of bears on this hike. A lot. Any thoughts on the bear encounter?
No, I think we did really well. Grabbed the bear spray. We each looked at different directions. I thought it was good.
Great.
Yeah.
Free flowing, sailing with the wind, not knowing how this story ends.
We're on a climb. It's not even that big. But I gotta be honest, it's really tough. My bag feels very heavy. I feel tired. We didn't do a 0 day in town, so I don't feel rested. Brian, do you? No.
Sweet home.
Wow, we're right on the inlet now, and it's so beautiful.
Grounded, steady.
The ecology is changing here. We're seeing arbutus trees and manzanita bushes, which is a sign of warmer, drier climate. And we are feeling it today. It's probably the hottest day we've had out here on this whole hike so far. Brian and I just took 2 long breaks, like probably 2.5 hours total in the afternoon because it was so hot. So now it's about 5:30 or 6 p.m. We've done about half our kilometers we wanted to do today, but we're realizing we're gonna have to night hike. It's just so hot. Beautiful, but very difficult to hike in. The sun is setting on this beautiful day. Did a lot of night hiking when I hiked the Pacific Crest Trail last year, just because I hiked all the way till December, so I just didn't have much daylight. But I haven't done it in a while, so it's natural to feel a little bit nervous as the sun sets, because when it's dark, your brain, I find my brain can play tricks on me a little bit. So I'm feeling a little nervous, but I'm just trying to stay calm and just know if it doesn't work out, Brian and I will find somewhere to pitch the tent and we'll figure it out tomorrow. Ready?
Yeah, there we go.
We're switching over to headlamps now, so it's night. We just got some water here. Water's been a bit sparse today, so we got enough for camp. Our first goal is to do 4K in the dark, and then we're gonna reevaluate, see how we're feeling, because we're both feeling nervous. First night hike of the year. And then when we get there, we'll decide if we wanna go further, and if not, it looks like there's a spot we could find to pitch our tent. So that's our plan right now. Okay, we're at camp and it's just this tiny little spot. Our tent doesn't fully fit, so we have to be creative. The pitch doesn't look amazing, but it's gonna work for the night. It's like 9:30 p.m.
10:30.
It's 10:30 p.m. So we night hiked for about an hour and a half. So we did about 5K and it was good. It was scary at times. Oh, our dinner's ready, but it was good. Chili, looks good. Okay, I'm in the tent now. Done dinner. So I'm gonna head to bed now. See you tomorrow. Good morning. We got going just before 7 a.m. So we're gonna try to do as many kilometers as we can in the morning before it gets too hot. We've reached a river ford now and it looks pretty deep, so we'll keep our running shoes on and follow the safety protocols, like don't do up your backpack straps. So our feet are gonna be very wet, but that's part of thru hiking. All right, I'm almost through. Very calm water. Rocks are a bit slippery, so definitely was the right call to wear the shoes. And it reached my shorts. So a little bit deeper on me than on Brian. You can see on my shorts here, that's how deep it got on me. But that's okay because it wasn't too cold, and the really nice thing about wearing shoes like this is that as you walk, the water sort of squishes out and they dry out a lot faster than, say, a hiking boot. We made it to a paved road. We're on it for like 600 meters. We're doing really well with our kilometers today. It's a lot cruisier hiking today compared to yesterday, and it's not as hot, which is glorious. We just had our lunch break here by this beautiful stream, And we've gone 17 kilometers today, and we looked ahead and we want to go to a campsite in 17 kilometers. So we're halfway through our day and it's probably 2 p.m. now. So it's going to be a big day. We're just trying to squeeze this section into 4 days, but now that we're out here, I'm realizing it probably would have been more comfortable to do 5 days. We have to push ourselves today, but it's not as hot as yesterday, not even close. This part of the trail, there's a lot of prickly plants running all along. And so I've taken to picking my feet up quite a bit, but one just got me so good. And as I was trying to step, like it scraped across, ouch, scraped across my whole leg and left a bunch of barbs in, and it's bleeding quite a bit. So Brian's down there trying to pick out the barbs for me. And it really hurts. Okay, Brian got the barbs out. I cleaned it up. Got it bandaged so it doesn't get dirty.
Wasn't I meant to lie in your arms here for a while? I'm alive and I take.
We've made it 30 kilometers now. We just had our final break to get a little bit of water, and we have 4 more to go till our goal. And we're gonna do it. It's like 6:30 p.m., so we'll make it by 8:30.
We've been hiking.
Since 7 a.m.
Yeah, so almost 12 hours.
Yeah, almost 12 hours. Another hour, 1 to 2 hours probably, to do these last 4K.
Break through. Was it a rainbow falling? Was it a rainbow falling? Oh, was it a rainbow falling?
We did it. We made it to camp. 34-kilometer day, and we still have some daylight. So that was a really successful day. We hiked from 7 a.m. until 8 p.m. 13 hours. Didn't take very long of breaks either, so it was a big day. I feel very tired right now. Usually when we get to camp, we divide tasks. So Brian is setting up the tent. I'm filtering the water. You can probably see it here, hanging in the tree. And I'll cook dinner. But I'm contemplating jumping in and rinsing off because I have been sweating a lot. We're all cozy in bed now, so it's time to go to sleep. It's about 9:30 p.m. Probably another 5 a.m. wake up tomorrow and another big day. See you then. Good morning, it's day 36 here on the Vancouver Island Trail. We had a glorious sleep by the river here. Last night when we were sleeping, I woke up a couple times hearing an animal calling out, and I'm not exactly sure what it was, honestly. I couldn't figure it out. I was really tired, so that also was an aspect. But yeah, there was something near us making noises last night. We stopped here at this stream for a very extended break. We needed it. We were tired and emotional and all those things. We have gone 13 kilometers today, 22 to go, probably. We'll see. And it's like 3 p.m. So still have a lot to do. We're gonna be mostly on road. So we're just finishing off this segment of trail here. And then when we get close to Lake Cowichan, the route right now just goes around the road. We decided to stop here earlier than we had thought we were gonna do at this campsite, but we realized if we wanted to camp further along, we'd be right beside the road, like the busy road. This campsite is a little bit off of it, and yeah, we just thought it might be easier to get a good sleep tonight. Like it's about 5 p.m. I think, and we're gonna go to bed now. Like we've already had dinner and everything. So we're gonna go to bed and then get up early and do about 35 kilometers tomorrow. But the thing about tomorrow is it's all on a road and it's all along a lake, and it's gonna be pretty much flat the whole way. Whereas today there was still like up and down and wayfinding and bushwhacking. So we figured let's do less today, more tomorrow. Makes more sense. So that's the plan. So we're gonna go to bed. See you tomorrow. Good morning. We got going at about 5:15 a.m. so we could do a bunch of the road when it's still cold. It's really nice. We've done over 5K already, 35K to get into town, and the post office closes at 5, and so does our hotel reception. So our goal is to get there around 4. So far so good. It feels good to be finishing up this section. We're so close now though, like next section will be our last section. It's gonna be 4 days or so. So I'm also feeling a little bit sad that it's ending soon. Brian told me yesterday, oh, I'm gonna be sad when this is done. That's always what happens to me on thru hikes is I very rarely feel ready to be done when I'm done. But I guess that's a good thing. It means I do love it. How's the lake?
Refreshing for a splash.
We're on our lunch break now, and we've got 10 kilometers to get into town. It's about 12:30 p.m., so we're doing great timing-wise. This will probably be our last break because 10K, when you're heading into town with no food in your pack, you can do that pretty well. We're on Lake Cowichan, which is a very popular spot for people to come and recreate in their boats and, you know, wakeboard, wake surf, water ski, all those sorts of activities. It's a really nice lake. It's a long lake. That's why today's so long, 35 kilometers. We're hiking along the lake the entire day. Entering Lake Cowichan now. Yes.
Trusting your instincts, realize that knowing looks different to each when living.
Okay, we're rolling into town now. Time to hit up the post office. We made it to our hotel room. Oh, feels so good to shower and to get food and everything. We've done all those things already. I was honestly so tired, so hungry. I didn't even think about opening up the camera.
Burn off the fire, let
we've done 6 of the 7 sections of the Vancouver Island Trail already. This is our final section that we're starting out on today, and it's about 100 kilometers. So hiking from Lake Cowichan to Victoria, and we'll be done the entire through hike.
Removing performance, true self.
We're on trail now, and this trail we'll be on all day long. So far it's so beautiful and cruisy. And it's also the Trans-Canada Trail, which is the longest trail in the world, is what that sign back there said. So, is it on my list? Probably.
It is now.
Nice trestle bridge, well maintained it seems.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars. Maybe the birds will sing about your heart. Maybe the trees will whisper the word. Maybe the sun will spread your joy to the ones who lost their hope.
Okay, things are going pretty well. It's about 5 p.m. We've done 23 kilometers so far. The goal is to do about 7 more or so. So, starting to get tired. But it's been this nice, it's basically felt flat the entire day, which is such a nice feeling after the straight up, straight down segments of this hike. So I'm really enjoying that, listening to podcasts. Great trail for multi-use. It's hiking, biking, horseback riding, I think for a large portion of this trail at least. Okay, sorry, freaked out a little bit because when I did the CLDT in Croatia, I got charged by quite a few dogs, and I heard one barking and jumping through like a stream, so I thought it was gonna charge me. So freaked out a little bit, but it's all good. They're behind a fence. So yeah, it's been a good day. It's been a nice cruisy day. Not much to report, to be honest.
Dreaming of you, dreaming of you, dreaming of you.
Okay, we set up the tent. We're very tired. We went 30 kilometers today. So we're gonna go to bed now. And we've got another 35 kilometer day tomorrow, all along the same trail. Maybe with a bit more climbing though. So I'll see you tomorrow. Good night. Good morning. We had a decent sleep, not long enough in my opinion, like 6 hours, but it was good. We're on the trail again today. Our goal is to do approximately 35 kilometers, about 600 meters of vertical, so it'll be a harder day today than yesterday for that reason. It's not all flat this time. We have to go up and over the Malahat, but today's a big day because if we get today done, that means tomorrow night we'll be sleeping in our apartment. Wild.
Come a little closer. I wanna dance with you. Everything's moving slower. I don't know what it is you do. I've been looking at you all night, trying to figure you out.
We've made it to the Kinsel Trestle. I'm not sure if I've been here before. It's very dramatic, very cool. It was built for trains to carry logs.
This is cool.
It's making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. There's no one else here that I see but you. It's what you're doing that's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in love.
Okay, we've made it about 10K or so today. Stopped here for a snack break. Here's all my snacks here. Brian's over there looking for water. And we're gonna have a longer break because we did wake up early. We woke up at 4 and we're tired. We're very, very tired. I was trying to figure out what that rustling noise was, but it must be an animal in the tree. We did have a squirrel when we walked by a couple days ago. We walked past the squirrel in a tree and it started tossing pine cones down at us. Like it threw probably 10. Almost hit Brian. Didn't quite get close to me. So yeah, we're feeling tired. We wanted to get going early just to get some hiking done when it was cooler. So now we're feeling like we need to just chill here for a bit. It's a really nice park on Shawnigan Lake. There goes Brian. Looks like he's gonna get water from the lake and we'll filter it. Today's one of those days where I'm so tired that if I just walk and think, my thoughts can get a little spooky. Like I think when I'm tired, I'm more likely to have negative thoughts. And I have less energy to like get myself out of them. But it's all good. Just updating you on what's going on. Nice. Okay, we rested here for like over an hour, so it's time to get going. Sometimes you just need a long rest. Brian had a nap, meditated, I played a game on my phone. It was great.
This is good. The cooling bag.
My bottle's half full already.
Yeah.
Okay, Brian and I are motivated to get home. So now we've decided we'll filter water on the go.
Hydration station.
The first attempt was not good, but this one seems pretty good because the cooling effects on your neck, it's a really hot day.
This is a great way of doing it, to be honest.
Okay, we're on our climb. We're climbing up the Malahat, and it feels so hard to climb a hill now. We haven't climbed a hill in a while. It's really tough. It's about 300 vertical meters, so 900 vertical feet or so. So it's not even that big of a climb compared to the climbs we've done, but it is a shock to the system. And it is 2 p.m., so definitely hot. But as you can see, there's some nice shaded parts because of the trees. Okay, 15 kilometers until our goal camp. We can do it. Are you ready to go?
No.
12 kilometers to go for the day.
Yeah.
Are you ready to be done tomorrow?
No. But yes. It's both. It's weird how it's both.
You can probably see on my face how hot it is, how sweaty I am. But we made it to the Souk Wilderness, Souk Regional Wilderness, which means we're getting very close to Victoria now. It's so weird because we live in Victoria, so it's all feeling more and more familiar now. But I'm from Up Island originally, which also felt very familiar. It's just been such an amazing trail for that, like seeing brand new things, but then also having so much familiarity at some places. So special. We're on our descent now. It should be about an hour of hiking until we get to our campsite. And right now the campground is all walk-in only, first come, first serve. So we're really hoping it's not full, and it is a Friday night, so
We're rolling the dice.
we're rolling the dice. We're gonna see what happens. I'll update you. Goldstream Suspension Bridge. It's beautiful, and it means we're close to the campground now. Whoa, bouncy. Update, where we thought we'd be able to connect to the campground and not overshoot it. The road was closed. We now have to overshoot, and it's feeling mentally so tough at this point. We're having to do an extra like couple kilometers south, loop around, go back a couple kilometers to the campground. We don't even know if there's going to be a site for us. So at the end of a long day like this, having to do this is so mentally tough. In the scheme of things, it's not a big deal. But when you're this tired and this hungry, it is a big deal, at least to me right now. So having to do extra distance, it can just be tough. We did it. We made it. We're at our campsite. We walked around a big circle in the campground. Every site was taken, and I have to be honest, I was feeling really down. I was like, what are we gonna do? And then a park ranger drove by, so we asked them for help, and they told us where we could camp. So we're set up, and it was such a relief when we got here. Oh, I was so happy. So Brian set up camp. I made dinner. I filtered the water. We usually do like one person does that, one person does this. And it is 9:25 p.m. So we're exhausted.
We got up at 4 a.m.
We woke up at 4 to get going by 5:36. So it was a big day, but we pushed to get here because we want to finish tomorrow, which means we'll get home tomorrow night to our apartment, and then we'll have a full rest day before I start work on Monday. So
We made it.
but touch wood, fingers crossed, we're gonna make it tomorrow. It's gonna be a big day, and it's gonna be a lot of pavement, so definitely what we're not used to. I noticed my feet were getting sore today with that, but it'll be good. We'll be motivated. We're gonna get our favorite takeout and we're gonna celebrate. That's the goal. Did you calculate how many K we did? Not yet. Okay, before we go to sleep, we'll finish our meals, pack everything up, get in the tent, and then I'll update you with the total kilometer count of the day. Okay, Brian added it up, and today we went 43 kilometers. So I can't calculate that in miles right now, but it's a lot. So I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, here's our final tent pitch. This is what we've had as a home for the last 40 days. It's a Durston X-Med 2 tent. So it's got a double wall. You can remove this separate from this if this is really wet. So here's our space inside. It's designed to sleep head to foot, but Brian and I sleep head to head. Pretty spacious, actually. And we each get our own vestibule. Good morning. It's our last day. I have to admit, after 43 kilometers yesterday, I'm feeling very stiff, very sore, very tired. Went to bed at about 10, woke up at 5. Our plan today, we are at Coldstream Campground, and we're going to be hiking through Langford and all the way into Victoria, and then the terminus is actually in Oak Bay. So we have to go past downtown Victoria. Should be exciting. It's going to be a totally different day. I'll probably have to put both my AirPods in because of all the traffic noise. So we're just finishing packing up now and we're going to head out. Okay, here we go. We're going backtracking back to the route. We've got a couple kilometers to get back to the VIT. And it feels a lot easier to do it this morning than last night. I feel a lot fresher. Here we are, back at the trail. So now we just have the trail to walk. 35 kilometers. It feels good. I feel excited. I feel nervous. Can we make it? I hope so. We made it to Langford, got my oat milk latte, so I am buzzing right now. And we're heading out again. We are both struggling to eat our hiking food today. We just want to eat town food so bad. We made it to the Galloping Goose. Had a great lunch at Whole Foods, so we're technically in Saanich, almost in Victoria, and then we have to walk probably 15k or so in Victoria to reach the terminus. So it's all gonna be city now, and it just feels like what a contrast between the vast majority of the trail. It's really interesting. There's a lot going on here, and it's not even that big of a city, but it's just such a contrast. There's the city that way. We're so close now. Feels really good. Whoa. Oh, this is a big moment because we are getting so close to downtown now. This bridge like marks that.
Couple hours to go.
You having feelings, Brian?
I'm having a lot of feelings. I'm really proud of us for being here.
Can you believe it's ending?
Not really.
Me neither. I'm sad, but I'm so excited and so happy at the same time.
Yeah.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I
We're downtown now. I was just talking to my mom because she wanted to catch up. Brian ran into one of you, so that was cool. Sorry I didn't say hi. I didn't notice and I was talking to my mom, but thanks for following. And yeah, we're walking around the inner harbor now and it feels really wild.
High, even if the sky is falling down.
I feel so energized right now by all the people around in the city. I don't know, I just feel like I can just go. We got some delicious ice cream here. Time to keep going. We think we have like 7 to 9K left. It is quite enjoyable being able to do all these stops for food and drinks. We're just enjoying it. The route is taking us right past the cruise ship terminal.
If I will ever figure out where the road goes, even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind.
We have now entered the neighborhood. So we're out of downtown, heading towards the terminus. Less than 5K to go. The last 3 days getting from Lake Cowichan to here were a big push. And we haven't had a rest day since Cumberland. So our bodies are feeling it. We're gonna make it. But if this wasn't the terminus, we would need a few days off.
Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down.
Nice viewpoint. We're getting close now. That's the terminus. That's the terminus right there. We can see it. Ah!
Wow.
We're almost there. We're on our final climb to the terminus. Here we go. We can see it 100 meters from the terminus. We're gonna make it. Is this it? Can you check?
This is it?
We did it. Congratulations.
That's my luck. We did it.
We did it. Can't really believe we've done it. I never thought I would hike the whole VIT, the whole length of the island.
It's a beautiful moment.
I'm feeling emotional. We did it. I had my hardest day of hiking ever on this trail. There were so many obstacles to overcome. Physical, mental, everything. And we did it.
We did it together.
We did it together. This is our first long distance through hike, start to finish together. I'm really proud of us. That was such a meaningful hike. That was a really special hike. I'm so happy we did it. You can do it. You can do the thing if you want to.